Hello and welcome to this lesson. In this lesson, we want to talk about block level elements and inline level elements. Block level. So let me just write this word here, block level elements. The second one is called inline level elements. Okay, good. Now let me show you something. The second one is called, this block level elements, and the second one is called inline level elements. So this is how to spell inline, and the other one is called block line. Okay. Now let me save it. Let's go right here to our live preview. All right, so we have block level elements right here written. Okay, good. Okay, now let's go. On this line here, let me give you a block level element called P. I'm going to explain what block element does. Now, save it, go to your browser, see it drops here. So what is happening here? Block level elements are elements that start on a new line. And they are elements that stack on each other. Okay. They are elements that start on a new line, and they are elements that stack on each other. That's they always drop on a new line. Always, at every point in time. Those are block level elements. Now let me come over here and let us make a div, a block level element called div. Div is actually having no semantic value. Div is a container, just like we have the header, the section, the figure. Now P is not a container, not a container. Is a tag for creating a paragraph, but it's not a container. But the likes of headers, sections, and figures, and the likes, all of them like this, they are all containers. Okay, they are containers. All right, for instance, this var is not a container. It's not. Anyway, so look at this. We have div. In this div right now, let me type in this word same. Save it. Your browser, see, it drops. It drops on a new line. So block level elements are elements that start on a new line. They always start on a new line. All right, now, for instance, let me create an element somewhere here. Let me see. Let me show you that block level elements stack on each other. Let me show you this something. Section, which is a block level element. Now section, let me type in up, right? For section, up section, right? Good. All right, let's go to our browser. Up, see it? Starting on a new line, on a new line, on a new line. Good. That means it's a block level element. Now let me put div inside. If you put div inside section, now look at this rule. Let me put this word here, rule. Let me save it. What do you think is going to happen if I put rule inside a div? This is a block level element. Div section on its own too is a block level element. So what's going to happen? Now let's see. It's still going to drop. It is still going to drop. Why? Because div, which houses the rule, is still a block level element, even though section, which houses the up, housed this. Remember, it was section. Remember that div is inside section. But div on its own is block level element, while section on its own too is block level element. So block level elements, even though they are wrapped inside each other, will always drop to the new line. That's block level elements for you, no matter how much you wrap it. So look at it right now. Remember, P is a block level element, right? Let me put P here. Paragraph. And let me type in something. Let's say 3. Save it. Did you see that? It dropped. Block level elements always drop. They always drop to a new line. They stack on each other. No matter if you put them inside each other, they stack. That's block level elements for you. Let me just remove this. This is just for explanation purpose. Okay, so next one right now is, let me go up here. Enter key. Now let's create another thing here. On this one that I have, let's create here. Okay, should I create here on after this Encanto? Okay, let me just create after this Encanto. Let's create a div. A div here. Let me call this div hello. Hello. Save it. Remember Encanto and hello. Let me save it, right? See? Hello. Sorry, Encanto, and then we have hello still there. Right here. Let me create span. Span is just like div. Divs and spans are containers. Divs and spans are containers. But div is a block level container, while span is an inline level container. Inline level container. Okay, so let's say span, let span have the word I. Save it. Now you see that span came down. Span came down. But let me prove to you that span is actually inline. Take it, cut it, and put it right inside here. Save it. Remember, block level elements, when section house div, div still drop to the next line. Remember that. Good. Now, let me save this. Let's go to our browser and let's see if I would drop to the next line. Let's see. See, I came to the same line, meaning that span is inline level elements. Inline level elements are elements that flow with the block level elements. They don't start on a new line by themselves. Even if they look as if they started on a new line, it's fictitious. they actually flow with block level elements. Block level elements always start in a new line as a rule. Inline level elements always flows with a block level element. They don't stand on their own. No, 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 no. They do not stand on their own. Now, let me give you another block level element here called block quote. Block quote. Now, look at block quote here. Block quote is a block level element, okay, for creating a block for a quote. Somehow, right? Creating a block for a code, but that is a semantic. It's a semantic HTML. Remember, we talked about semantics. Semantics. Block code is actually semantic. It's a semantic HTML tag. So let's say dance. Let me save it. Go to your browser. See dance. Now, did you see a space here? It's because it's trying to create a block quote. It shifted itself away from the normal starting from the edge. So block quote is for creating a block of quotes. Now you can use block quote with another semantic element called cite. Cite tab. So I typed in cite now and I pressed tab. Now cite. Let me use this word here, with me. With me. With me. Oh. With me. Let's save it. Now go right here, see, dance with me. Did you see what cite did? Cite kind of made it in terms of like an offset text, as if you are writing in italics. Did you see that? Good. Now, what does it tell you from cite? What is cite? Which kind of element is cite? Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Yes, you got it. It's an inline level element. It's not block level. Assuming it was block level, it will have started in a new line. Assuming it was block level, it will have started in a new line. But it continued with the flow of a block level element. Therefore, it is an inline level element. I'm sure you would have gotten from my style of teaching that I like repeating myself. I'm so sorry. I just have to always repeat myself for you to understand things very, very well. Now, cite can come with an attribute called title. Cite can come with an attribute called title. So now let's say dance with me. Let me say where I want the person to dance with me. Let me just say at the cinema. Now let me save it. Go right here. Nothing happened. Well, put your mouse on with me. See? At the cinema. So whenever you hover your mouse on something and it gives you a suggestion, what they did was that they used the title attribute. The title attribute works with many of the HTML um, tags. For instance, if I copy this right now and I put it inside P, okay, I've saved it. If I go to Encanto now, see, if I put my mouse on it, see, at the cinema. So title is a very good attribute if you want people to get something from your tag. Let me undo that. Okay, undo. Good. So this is block quote right now. So block quote is another semantic tag used to create a quote in a block sense. Does that make sense? Well, we'll make it make sense anyway.